In the Bhagavad Gita, when we discuss justice, we have to keep in mind that this is not a normal day-to-day kind of justice. Because when we are doing day-to-day work, it is often the case that we don't have much time to think about justice. So what happens? We usually go through our day without any attention. We don't pay attention to the very small details. And when we don't pay attention to those details, what really happens is we commit injustice to ourselves and to others. When Bhagavan Sri Krishna, Lord Sri Krishna, he is talking about justice, he especially draws our interest to this question of small details. He says, Gahana Karmano Gatihi. That is, how we should work. It's a very deep and profound business. We cannot simply go to work and expect justice to be handed out, like charity, donation. We cannot expect that. Why? Because we are not just. When we are not just, when we are sinners, literally sinners, when we are sinning every day, how can we expect justice from others? Hence, the Lord says, if we love God, if we are devoted to God, then God makes sure that we commit justice. That is, we are in balance. We are in tune with nature, we are in tune with each other, we are in tune with ourselves. Only God can do that. Human beings, impossible. I cannot do justice to myself, let alone others. It's extremely complex. When we say, okay, let's do justice, do we have the slightest idea what we are talking about? We don't. And yet, we go through our day as if it's completely just. It is not. Hence, the Lord is saying again and again, Dharmyam Sangramam, that this is a just war. Why is this a just war? I mean, wars are not pretty, right? We discussed that. But the Lord says this is a just war because this war is being fought for humanitarian reasons. This war is being fought for spiritual reasons. There was a guy called Duryodhana who became very, very arrogant and proud because of his powers, and then he tried to depose Pandavas, forgetting that all his powers are from God. Hence, this guy, Duryodhana, and his friends and cronies and followers, they all went down. They all went down in the war. They all went down. And it is precisely because of that Duryodhana and his cronies needed to be taught a lesson. They needed to be taught what dharma means, what justice means, what balance means. They needed to be taught the meaning of the words They did not understand what was dharma, what was adharma, what was justice, what was injustice. They needed to be taught that lesson, A, B, C, D, and so on. That is why the war was absolutely necessary. Not just necessary, the war was already there. In the sense that it was just a matter of time before it erupted. Now, when this kind of war becomes absolutely necessary, Lord himself or herself, Lord has no gender, the Lord descends on earth to relieve people of their misery. And then this kind of conflict happens. Dharmyam Sangramam. In this kind of conflict, the Lord takes a side role. He doesn't fight, on the front line. He advises the party who is befriended to him, who obeys him, who follows him. He advises that party. And he is against the party that is arrogant, that is haughty, that has no understanding of scriptures, no true understanding of scriptures. And that's how the Lord works, that's how the Lord operates. The Lord does not care if, how much money you have, how much social status you have. The Lord only cares for your love. Only cares for your love. There is nothing else. Only love. And when God loves you, and when you love God back, when we love God back, that's a wonderful situation. That's the best situation one can expect in this human life. And that is why I think, humbly, that the war in Kurukshetra was absolutely necessary. Absolutely necessary. It was just a matter of time. And not only that, what happened as a result of the war was that justice was restored to its full glory. Dharma was restored to its full glory. Restoration, right? It was restored. That means there was dharma before. There was justice before. It was just a matter of time. Restoration. Restoration of justice, restoration of dharma. Dharma samsthapanarthaya. Restoration. Hence, we have to keep in mind that this is not just a restoration of justice. This is also the destruction of injustice. Duryodhana and his cronies and followers became too haughty, too arrogant. They needed to be destroyed. They needed to be destroyed. A statement needed to be made. A statement needed to be made that will become India. That is why Mahabharat, there was no India before Mahabharat. Before Mahabharat, there were tribes, feuds, family feuds, tribal feuds, wars all around. After Mahabharat, especially after Kurukshetra war, India became an entity. That is the beginning of India. The cultural heritage, the spiritual heritage, the religious heritage, all were there. But politically, India was not a country. Some people say it is only with the advent of the British that India recognized her political unity. That is not true. In the Bhagavad Gita, we find clear evidence that the Lord wanted India to happen. It was an India he envisaged, he envisioned as a unified political entity, as a single country. Hence, the Bhagavad Gita really is the source of India. politically as well. And that, I would say, is a huge statement of justice. No other country, to my knowledge, has ever been blessed, has ever been so blessed as to have God Himself descended to guide the country in its proper political course. And that, I would say, is the biggest contribution of the Bhagavad Gita to India. It created India. There was no India before that, politically again. There was spiritual India, there was cultural India, religious India, yes, but no political unity. Bhagavad Gita, especially Mahabharata, is the first guidebook that literally guided India into a political unification. Thousands of years before the advent of Mughals, the British, and all other sects, thousands of years, all other religions before that. And that is a wonderful idea expounded in the Bhagavad Gita. We'll discuss much more about justice and how Bhagavad Gita worked through different examples, and how the Lord explained different intricacies. There are many intricacies of justice. We shall come to all of them to the best of our abilities. Thank God. I would like to thank all of you. Pranams. May God bless you. May you have a great time ahead. God bless.